Hello, dear listener, and welcome. As the day begins to fade, and the quiet descends around you, allow your mind to gently unfurl, like a delicate blossom opening to the soft evening air. Tonight, we'll embark on a calm, introspective journey into the heart of a truly profound idea, a concept that weaves together the threads of our existence with the fabric of the world around us. We'll explore the gentle wisdom of something called social ecology. Imagine, if you will, a vast, intricate tapestry. Each thread in this tapestry represents a person, an idea, a community, a whisper of wind, a towering tree, a gentle river. Social ecology, at its very core, is the quiet study of how these threads interweave, how they connect, how they depend on one another to form the larger, more beautiful whole. It's about the relationships, both seen and unseen, that exist between people and their environment. Not just the physical environment, though that is certainly a vital part, but also the delicate, often complex, interdependence of people with other people, with the collectives they form, and with the institutions that shape our shared lives. It invites us to ponder how we, as individuals and as societies, interact with everything that surrounds us. How do we respond to the world's quiet invitations and its more assertive demands? And perhaps most importantly, how do these myriad interactions, these subtle dances of engagement, ripple outwards to impact not only our immediate communities but also the vast, interconnected web of society and the environment at large? This field of study didn't simply appear out of nowhere, fully formed. Like a slow, deliberate river carving its path through the landscape, social ecology has gently evolved, drawing strength and insight from a confluence of other thoughtful streams. It emerged from the deep, foundational understanding of biological ecology, which teaches us about the interconnectedness of living organisms within their natural habitats. It absorbed the insights of human ecology, which began to consider how human beings fit into these natural systems. It embraced the wisdom of systems theory, a way of looking at the world that understands everything as part of a larger, dynamic system, where every action has a reaction, every element influences another. And it found a rich source in ecological psychology, which explores the reciprocal relationship between people and their perceived environment. What makes social ecology particularly resonant, particularly expansive in its embrace, is its commitment to a broad, interdisciplinary perspective. It dares to cast a wider net, allowing for a deeper, more nuanced understanding of our existence. While earlier versions of human ecology might have focused more narrowly, social ecology gives greater, more tender attention to the intricate social, the quiet psychological, the sturdy institutional, and the vibrant cultural contexts that perpetually shape the delicate dance of people-environment relations. It understands that our environment is not just the forest or the ocean, but also the warmth of a shared meal, the hushed understanding within a community, the unspoken rules of a society, and the stories we tell ourselves about our place in the world. This expansive lens, this gentle broadening of perspective, has allowed social ecology to be applied to a diverse array of social problems and public policies, offering insights across the behavioral and social sciences. It's like holding a magnifying glass to the world, not to find flaws, but to understand the intricate patterns, the hidden connections that often go unnoticed in our busy lives. Social ecologists, in their quiet contemplation, seek to examine the larger picture of what they refer to as our system. They gently peel back the layers, looking at how individuals, in their unique solitude, how collectives, in their shared aspirations, and how institutions, in their structured forms, all interact and depend on one another. This holistic perspective, this ability to see the forest and the trees, enables a more efficient, and dare I say, more compassionate method of addressing the collective issues that softly challenge society. It encourages us to step back, to breathe, and to see the subtle currents that move beneath the surface of our everyday lives. Let us now, with the same gentle curiosity, delve into the core principles that orient this beautiful field, as thoughtfully described by the scholar Stokals. These principles offer us a framework, a quiet pathway through the landscape of social ecology. First, we consider the multidimensional structure of human environments. This is a profound concept, inviting us to recognize that our environments are far more intricate than we often perceive. They are, of course, physical, the solid ground beneath our feet, the walls of our homes, the tangible presence of a park. But they are also deeply social, the networks of friends and family, the connections within our workplaces, the shared spaces of our communities. Our environments are natural, with the rustling leaves of a forest, the gentle lapping of waves on a shore, the silent majesty of mountains. Yet they are also meticulously built, crafted by human hands and minds, from the quiet hum of a city to the intricate design of a garden path. Beyond these tangible aspects, there's a deeper layer. Our environments possess objective material qualities: the measurable temperature, the visible architecture, the verifiable presence of resources. But they are also profoundly perceived symbolic, or semiotic. This means they carry meaning, they evoke feelings, they tell stories. A park isn't just grass and trees, it can symbolize peace, childhood memories, or community spirit. A specific building might not just be bricks and mortar, it could represent history, power, or resilience. These symbolic meanings shape our experience as profoundly as the physical reality itself. And in our modern world, we also encounter virtual features, the digital landscapes we navigate, the online communities we join, alongside the familiar place-based features of our physical locations. Imagine the tranquil comfort of your favorite armchair at home, now contrast that with the limitless, yet often intangible, spaces of the internet. Both are environments, each shaping us in unique ways. This multidimensionality asks us to keep our awareness broad, our perception gentle and open. Next, social ecology encourages cross-disciplinary, multi-level, contextual analyses of people-environment relationships. This means we don't confine our understanding to a single academic discipline. Instead, we invite insights from sociology, psychology, anthropology, geography, public health, urban planning, and many other fields, allowing their wisdom to mingle and enrich our view. We examine relationships across various levels, from the most proximal or narrow scales, perhaps the intimate space of a single room, or the dynamic between two individuals, to the most distal or broad scales. This distal view encompasses vast spatial considerations, like the global climate, or the sprawling patterns of urbanization. It extends to broad sociocultural scopes, examining how entire cultures interact with their landscapes, or how societal values shape our environmental policies. And it includes broad temporal scopes, considering the slow, deliberate changes that unfold over generations, even centuries, in the relationship between humans and their world. It's like zooming in and out with a camera, seeing the exquisite detail of a single dewdrop, and then pulling back to reveal the entire breathtaking vista. Then, we encounter the profound wisdom of systems principles. At the heart of this is the understanding of feedback loops. Imagine a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves of a tree. The tree responds by swaying, and this swaying might, in 2rn, create subtle shifts in the air currents, affecting other trees or even a small animal beneath its branches. In human systems, our actions produce consequences, and these consequences often circle back to influence our subsequent actions or the systems we inhabit. For instance, pollution from a factory might harm the health of a local community, leading to protests, which in turn might pressure the factory to change its practices, thereby improving community health. This is a feedback loop, a continuous dance of cause and effect. Another crucial systems principle is the interdependence of system elements. Nothing exists in isolation. Every person, every community, every policy, every natural feature is connected. A change in one part of the system inevitably ripples through the others. This understanding is vital when we think about anticipating unintended side effects of public policies and environmental interventions. A new road built to ease traffic might inadvertently fragment a wildlife habitat or change local water flow. A policy designed to boost economic growth might, without careful consideration, exacerbate social inequalities or degrade a natural resource. Social ecology encourages us to slow down, to think deeply about these interconnected consequences, to cultivate a gentle foresight. A practical and deeply hopeful principle is the translation of theory and research findings into community interventions and public policies. Social ecology isn't just about abstract understanding, it's about applying that understanding to make a tangible, positive difference in the world. It's about taking the insights gained from careful study and transforming them into actions that can foster healthier, more sustainable, and more equitable relationships between people and their environments. It's about building bridges from thought to action, from contemplation to creation. Furthermore, social ecology holds a unique and valuable principle of privileging and combining both academic and non-academic perspectives. This is an embrace of inclusive wisdom. It recognizes that true understanding doesn't reside solely in the ivory towers of academia. While the insights of scientists and academicians are invaluable, so too is the lived experience and profound common sense of lay citizens and community stakeholder groups. The practical ingenuity of business leaders and other professional groups, and the strategic vision of government decision-makers, all contribute to a richer, more comprehensive picture. It's about gathering around a common table, where diverse voices are heard, valued, and integrated. Finally, we arrive at the principle of transdisciplinary values and orientation. This goes beyond merely being multidisciplinary, drawing from many fields, or interdisciplinary, integrating insights between fields. Transdisciplinarity aims for a deeper synthesis, truly blending concepts and methods from different fields to create entirely new frameworks and approaches that transcend the boundaries of any single discipline. It seeks a unified understanding, a seamless tapestry woven from threads of many colors, all pertaining to particular research topics. It's about seeing the unity in diversity, the shared essence that underlies all forms of knowledge. Now, as we allow these conceptual pathways to gently settle in our minds, let us turn our attention to the philosophical heart of social ecology, a vision profoundly shaped by the American environmental activist, Murray Bookchin. His ideas offer not just an academic framework, but a deeply ethical and moral call to reimagine our place in the world. Bookchin introduced the idea of social ecology not as a mere academic pursuit, but as a revolutionary way of seeing. He made a powerful, yet gentle, case that environmentalists, in their noble efforts, should perhaps be less concerned with the notion that humans can and should simply manage nature, as if nature were merely a resource to be controlled. Instead, he urged a shift in focus, encouraging us to concentrate more on the specific symptoms of the deep-seated problems that plague both our societies and our ecosystems. Social ecology, as a field, was truly built upon the robust foundation of this philosophy. According to Bookchin, many of society's divisions, its conflicts, its injustices, are profoundly detrimental to its well-being as a whole. He posited a radical, yet deeply intuitive, idea that human-made hierarchies are the root cause of nearly all social and environmental problems and dysfunctions in human society. Think about this for a moment. Not just economic inequality or political oppression, but also the way we often treat the natural world as something to dominate, to exploit, rather than to cherish. Bookchin suggested that these forms of human over human domination naturally extend to human over nature domination. If we live in societies where some people are deemed superior to others, it becomes easier to justify the idea that humans are superior to the rest of nature, thus justifying our exploitation of it. Bookchin thought that society and life should be viewed not as a rigid pyramid of power, but as an ecosystem. In an ecosystem, he gently reminded us, all the components are equally vital to a stable, healthy, and sustainable environment. The tiniest microbe plays a role as crucial as the mightiest tree. The delicate balance is maintained because each part contributes, each part supports, and no part seeks to dominate or control the others. This vision invites us to imagine a human society structured in the same way, as an ecosystem of equals, where diversity is celebrated, and interdependence is the guiding principle. Murray Bookchin contended, with quiet conviction, that rather than existing outside of nature, separate and superior, humans are fundamentally a part of it. This is a crucial distinction. We are not external observers or managers, but integral participants. He then made a subtle yet profound distinction, speaking of two types of nature: the first, or biotic, which encompasses the vast, untamed wilderness, the spontaneous unfolding of life itself, and the second, or human, which includes human culture, human reason, and human societies. For Bookchin, nature in its entirety is not a static condition, like a breathtaking panorama frozen in time, but an ever-evolving evolutionary process. It is a constant becoming, a dynamic flow of change and adaptation. And, he argued, not only the human organism itself but also human civilization, with all its complexities and aspirations, is the product of this continuous evolutionary endeavor. It is not the intention, Bookchin mused, for human reason or our intricate social structures to be freak mutations, somehow apart from the rest of nature. Rather, he believed, they are designed, through the long arc of evolution, to interact with nature and, perhaps even more remarkably, to advance its evolution in ways that other species cannot. This is a truly inspiring thought, that our unique capacity for reason, for creating complex societies, is not a burden or a curse, but a potential gift, a tool for co-creation and further unfolding within the grand cosmic dance of life. Humans, he suggested, can assume their proper, integrated place in the ecosystem, not by dominating it, but if the often destructive desire for supremacy, for control over others and over nature, is subdued. In a nutshell, Bookchin gently laid out a fundamental political framework that he believed would enable this beautiful vision. He imagined a global order devoid of the rigid, often conflict-ridden, structures of nation-states. Instead, political life would be centered around towns, vibrant local communities, linked together by weak institutions that were specifically designed to forbid them from taking advantage of one another. These municipalities, these local centers of life, would foster a real, embodied type of citizenship. Within them, the artificial barriers that we often construct between individual interests and group interests, as well as between human interests and ecological interests, would gradually be eliminated. People would naturally, organically, become an intrinsic part of their local ecosystems, living in harmony with the rhythms of their place. Bookchin's main advantage, his quiet power, is that he provides strong, compelling arguments for why people should care about ecology, beyond the immediate, perhaps self-serving, concern for self-preservation. It is a deeper, more ethical imperative. He stepped into a crucial debate within environmental ethics, a contention between two prominent ideas: biocentrism and anthropocentrism. Biocentrism, as an ethical stance, prioritizes the needs of the entire environment, of all life, over purely human needs. It views humans as having equal value with non-humans, emphasizing that every living thing has intrinsic worth, independent of its utility to humanity. It's predicated on the idea that humans and the rest of nature are identical in their fundamental value. On the other hand, anthropocentrism places an absolute, unwavering emphasis on human interests. It often assumes human superiority, viewing nature primarily as a resource to be managed or exploited for human benefit. It's predicated on the idea that humans are superior to and distinct from nature. Bookchin, with his nuanced perspective, argued that neither biocentrism nor anthropocentrism, taken alone, is sufficient. He recognized the profound truth that, while being distinct from the rest of nature, with our unique capacities for abstract thought, language, and culture, people are nevertheless an essential component of it. We are not identical to a tree or a bird in our form or function, but we are undeniably woven into the same fabric of life, subject to its laws, and dependent on its health. Our uniqueness doesn't grant us mastery, but rather, perhaps, a profound responsibility. So, in Bookchin's view, we need a philosophy that recognizes our distinctness without claiming supremacy, and acknowledges our part in nature without dissolving our unique identity. This perspective allows for a powerful sense of ethical responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to the entire, beautiful, evolving system of which we are an integral, yet humble, part. As these thoughts gently swirl and settle within your mind, allow yourself to feel the interconnectedness that social ecology so beautifully describes. The air you breathe, the ground beneath you, the gentle hum of existence around you, all are part of this grand, multidimensional system. Consider your own life, your own environment in this light. How do your personal actions ripple outwards? How do the communities you belong to interact with their surroundings? What systems, seen and unseen, shape your daily experience? There is no need for judgment, only for gentle observation, for a quiet awakening to the intricate dance of life. Social ecology invites us to cultivate a sense of deep ecological citizenship, where the well-being of the whole, the human and the non-human, becomes a guiding principle. It encourages us to look for the hierarchies, the subtle forms of domination, in our own lives and in our societies, and to gently question their necessity. Can we, even in small ways, begin to dismantle these barriers, replacing them with webs of mutual support, reciprocity, and respect? Imagine a world where decisions are made not just for short-term gain, but with a profound awareness of the long-term feedback loops, the unintended consequences that might echo through generations. A world where the wisdom of every voice, from the academic scholar to the community elder, is valued and woven into the fabric of our shared understanding. A world where our human creativity and reason are employed not to conquer nature, but to nurture it, to participate in its ongoing evolution with the spirit of humility and wonder. This is the promise, the gentle invitation, of social ecology. It offers a path towards not just a more sustainable future, but a more compassionate, a more just, and ultimately, a more harmonious way of being for all life on Earth. It reminds us that our true strength lies not in isolation or domination, but in our profound, beautiful, and undeniable interdependence. As you drift now towards sleep, let these ideas accompany you, not as burdens, but as soft whispers of possibility. May you dream of ecosystems of equality, of communities intertwined with their natural world, of a future where all threads of the tapestry shine with their own unique brilliance, supporting and enhancing the magnificence of the whole. Rest now, dear listener. May your sleep be deep and peaceful, and may you awaken with a renewed sense of connection to the beautiful, living world that surrounds you. Good night.